this audio, though, before we run out of time. This really struck out to me. This is a 2012 speech, and it's a quick 2-minute clip. It's just a portion of the speech by Masha Gessen. She's an author and outspoken activist for the LGBT community. It's just now going viral and includes a theory that many supporters of traditional marriage have speculated for years, that the push for gay marriage has less to do with the right to marry. It's about diminishing and eventually destroying the institution of marriage and redefining the traditional family. Now, this has less to do, again, much like the whole Jason Collins coming out, first gay pro athlete, which he wasn't. Okay, this is less about whether homosexuality being right or wrong and more about the agendas behind these issues and what's actually attempting to be done. Go ahead and let's play the video and the audio. This is an excerpt of this 2012 speech by Masha Gessen.
I agree. It's a no-brainer that we should have the right to marry. But I also think equally that it's a no-brainer that the institution of marriage should not exist. So that causes my brain some trouble. And part of it, why it causes me trouble, is because fighting for gay marriage generally involves lying about what we're going to do with marriage when we get there. You know, because we lie that the institution of marriage is not going to change. And that is a lie. The institution of marriage is going to change, and it should change. And again, I don't think it should exist. I don't like taking part in creating fictions about my life. That's sort of not what I had in mind when I came out 30 years ago. You know, I have 3 kids who have 5 parents, more or less. And I don't see why they shouldn't have 5 parents legally. I don't see why we should choose 2 of those parents and make them into a sanctioned couple. And because between those 5 parents we have 2 groups with 2 different citizenships,
you might
2 groups of 3.
You might need to take us through that. You might need to take us through that because we're getting a bit confused.
It would take a
with
long time. No, I have.
You got married in Massachusetts?
I got married in Massachusetts to my partner, who's Russian, my ex-partner. And by that time we had 2 kids, one of whom was adopted and one of whom I gave birth to. We broke up a couple of years after that, and a couple of years after that I met my new partner, and she has just had a baby, and that baby's biological father is my brother. My daughter's biological father is a man who lives in Russia. And my adopted son also considers him his father. So the 5 parents break down into 2 groups of 3 who have 2 different citizenships.
That's not very British.
And really, I would like to live in a legal system that is capable of reflecting that reality. And I don't think that's compatible with the institution of marriage.
Let's have that open discussion for a moment. By the way, was it just me? Was I the only one where this came to mind when she was discussing the different partners that she had and kids and who gave birth to who? And
we have who's on first, what's on second. I don't know who's on third. That's what I want to find out.
Yeah, that's what it's like. What? This sounds like an Abbott and Costello routine, for crying out loud.
Who's playing first? Yeah. I mean the fellow's name on first base. Who? The fellow playing
My
first base for
partner.
St. Louis. Who? The guy on first base.
My
Who
divorce
is on
partner.
First? Well, what are you asking me for?
The adopted
I'm not asking
kid.
you, I'm telling you, who is on first?
No,
I'm
she
asking
got
you
pregnant.
Who's on first? That's the man's name.
Then we
That's whose
adopted.
name? Yeah. Well,
Then
go
we
ahead and
split
tell me.
up.
Who? The guy on
No,
first.
they were
Who?
Russian.
The first base. Who is on first? And you
Then
got
we
first
got
baseman on
adopted.
First, certainly. Then who's playing first? Absolutely.
And then she got pregnant. Oh my gosh. This is unbelievable. But I think we should the whole institution of marriage, whatever. Welcome to your new brand of debauchery. It's justifying everything. It's what it comes down to. Like, apart from just the utter lunacy. I mean, can you imagine the family tree? It'd be bigger than Home Tree on Pandora, for crying out loud. That's a bit, wow. There's a lot of gay people in that tree. That's a big family tree. God, could you imagine being the kids? I mean, I know what it's like for divorced families to have to go and visit people on birthdays and holidays. We're going to be traveling for the next month. Oh, really? Yeah, my birthday rolls around. I got to visit everybody. 751-1041. Let's talk with Gay Jim. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Geez, I was listening to that, and I was also thinking...
Is that unbelievable?
Well, consider the aunts and uncles and grandparents, too. I mean, geez.
How do you keep track?
I don't want to be at that Thanksgiving table, I'll tell you that. But, you know, I was thinking, listening to all this kind of stuff, it occurred to me how convoluted all of this is with with this guy coming out and everything like that. And I also was thinking of Tim Tebow and how all the flack he got, you know, with his kneeling down and stuff. And it occurred to me that a lot of it's tied in with the racial thing, because you see black and Hispanic athletes genuflecting, crossing themselves, kissing their crosses all the time.
Right.
True.
True.
A-Rod does it. Boxers do it. Baseball players do it. Not a word. You can't say a word about it because they're people of color. You know, I don't know who this guy was on ESPN, but I'll bet he was white.
Well, we can even let me spin this back to something else, okay? Because I think that you touched upon something, but the reality, in a certain sense, is different. It goes back to something that we said on the show. If you are a liberal and a Democrat, you can be as irrational and hypocritical as you want to be. That's it. It really is. You know, as we work through all of this, as you look at the fact that they're touting Jason Collins as being something that he's not, that is a lie. He is not the first major league of the 4 major league sports to come out as gay. Glenn Burke did years ago, ended up dying of AIDS at a time when it was not cool to come out as gay, at a time when you weren't going to get a phone call from the president just because you were gay. As long as you are a liberal, you can do, say, and be as irrational as you want to be in order to push forward your agenda. To the point now, we now are at a point where somebody simply in a civil way, in a rational, calm discussion in Brouchard on ESPN, simply said, I'm a Christian. I believe that homosexuality is a sin. In talking about the Jason Collins situation, and ESPN apologized. That says it all right there of where we're at right now in this country. All right, your phone calls. We'll get right to them on 104.1 The Truth, Right Talk for Tucson.